The day Boley says no. Now, welcome to the story of Boley, Oklahoma, the town Booker T. Washington once called the finest black town in America. A place built by vision, defended by courage, and remembered for the day it stood against one of the most feared outlaw gangs in history. In the early 1900s, Boley was more than just a town. It was a symbol of black enterprise and independence. 4,000 residents, two banks, two colleges, its own electric plant, water system, and even an ice plant. By 1911, Boley was thriving with businesses, churches, and a newspaper called the Boley Progress. Booker T. Washington himself visited in 1905 and declared it the most enterprising Negro town in the United States. Now, fast forward to November 23rd, 1932, three men drove into Boley in a roadster led by George Bedwell, Chief Lieutenant of Charles Pretty Boy Floyd. Bedwell had robbed more than a dozen banks across Oklahoma, but this time he ignored Floyd's warning, "Don't go to Boley." What Bedwell didn't realize was that the calendar had already stacked the odds against him. It was the first day of bird hunting season. Shotguns were on porches, shells on kitchen counters, and a half of the men in the town were already armed before breakfast. That's interesting. At the Farmers and Merchants Bank, Bedwell announced the holdup, but Boley had prepared for this moment. The alarm system was wired to trigger when the last bill was pulled, and a rifle was hidden inside the vault. The bank president, D.J. Tanner, a man who had poured his life into building Boley, hit the alarm himself. Bedwell asked if he had done it. Tanner told the truth and was killed for it. But Herbert McCormick, the bookkeeper, was already armed. Within seconds, Bedwell was shot down. The outlaw who thought he could rob any town had met the one town that refused to be robbed. The alarm rang through the streets. Hunters dropped their bird guns and ran towards the bank. Women grabbed tools, shovels, whatever was closest. The getaway car was surrounded. And when one of the robbers tried to flee with a hostage, a single shot from the crowd ended his escape. And yet, in that tense moment, Boley showed its true character. Deputy Lanston McCormick stepped between the mob and the wounded outlaw, insisting the law would handle it. The town that had every reason to finish the fight chose justice instead. Every dollar was recovered. Governor William Afafa Bill Murray honored Herbert McCormick with a commission. The town people shared in the reward. Tanner was buried in the town he helped build. Pretty Boy Floyd never came for revenge. Less than 2 years later, he was dead in Ohio, gunned down by the federal agents. And historians agree the beginning of his end started in Boley. Today, Boley still stands. Its downtown is a national historic landmark. The Farmers and Merchants Bank building is being restored. In 2024, Boley was added to the Oklahoma Civil Rights Trail. And every Memorial Day weekend, thousands return for the oldest African American community-based rodeo in the country. What happened in 1932 wasn't just a shootout story. It was a story of a town that had already decided long before anyone came to take what they built that the answer would be no. Boley wasn't luck. It was a plan that proves when tested that some places are simply too strong to lose. Thank you for watching and see you in the next black video. Bye bye.